41. Determine the empirical and molecular formula for chrysotile asbestos. And chrysotile has the following percent composition. It's 28.03% magnesium, 21.60% silicon, 1.16% hydrogen, and 49.21% oxygen. And the molar mass for chrysotile is 520.8 grams per mole. Okay, whoa. 520.8 grams per mole. This compound, this chrysotile asbestos, is huge. It's a huge compound. Fun fact, chrysotile asbestos is a carcinogen for humans, right? It's one type of the 6 types of asbestos that there are in the world. And yeah, that's why, houses with asbestos needs to be cleared out immediately, because if inhaled, because this is how it harms us, chrysotile is a fibril. It can get inhaled, and that causes lung issues. So, fun fact, we're finding out what this carcinogen is for humans. Okay, but let's just get to the problem, right? So we want to find the empirical formula and the molecular formula for chrysotile asbestos. How do we do that? Well, they gave us percents, and we always can go from a percent composition to an empirical formula by doing a 4-step process. Then we just got to add one little step forward to find the molecular formula. And I summed it all up for you guys by this process right here. So let me just make this a little smaller. Woo! And I'll put it right here. Okay. Now we can go from a percent to a empirical formula, and then from there we'd go to the molecular formula. So if you guys just memorize this little progression here, you guys are going to be great for all of these questions. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to list out all the percents that they gave us. There's 4 of them, so 4 different elements. So we have 28.03% magnesium. Okay. This asbestos is 21.60% silicon. Cool. It's 1.16% hydrogen. And then it's 49.21% oxygen. Okay. And let me just maybe space these out a little bit more, because there's going to be some math involved. Maybe I can bring this one up and okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert from a percent to grams. How do we do that? Well, remember guys that a percent is always out of 100. The total percentage is 100%. And just to make sure that we don't have to find any secret percentages, I'm just going to quickly calculate this. I'm going to add all the percentages up, and it should come out to 100. And it does, which means that there's no secret percentages we have to include here. So if the total percentage is 100, we can assume that the total gram sample that we have of this asbestos is 100 grams. So if the total percent equals 100, and the total grams equals 100, that basically means that the percent that they gave us is equal to the gram value that they gave us. So I can just quickly just say, okay, I don't have 28.03%, I have 28.03 grams of magnesium. Easy as that. I got 21.60 grams of silicon. I have 1.16 grams of hydrogen, and I have 49.21 grams of oxygen. Okay, first step done. Now, we got to go from the grams to the moles. How do we go from grams to moles? We've done tons of problems like this already, right? So if you need more review, you can just go back to those questions. But remember, grams to moles is just a conversion. So we have to use a ratio, right? And we have to use the periodic table. Anytime we're going from grams to moles, it's a ratio, all right? And it's the periodic table numbers. So if we're making a conversion and we're making a ratio, we have to times by some, division sign where we put something on top and something on the bottom. So I'm just going to set that all up for all 4 of these. And now I like to just cross out units first. So remember, the unit that you don't want, that's why we're doing this conversion, the unit that you don't want goes on the opposite side. So grams of magnesium would now go on the bottom. Grams of silicon would go on the bottom. Grams of hydrogen would go on the bottom. And then grams of oxygen, since we want to cancel all these gram values out, they go on the bottom. The new unit goes on the top. So I don't want grams anymore. I want to convert to moles. So mole of magnesium goes on the top. Mole of silicon goes on the top. Mole of hydrogen goes on the top. And the mole of oxygen goes on the top. But the question now is, what are these numbers, right? What are the numbers that I'm going to put here? That's where we go to the periodic table. And we got to look at the mass numbers. The mass numbers, remember, are the decimal values. They are not the whole numbers. The whole numbers are the atomic numbers, number of protons. Just know that these mass values are in grams. So these numbers go with the gram. And remember, these always equal to 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole of the element. So for example, 1 mole of hydrogen equals 1.008 grams of hydrogen. 1 mole of oxygen equals 16 grams of oxygen. 1 mole of magnesium, 1 mole of silicon equals these amounts in grams. So that's what the numbers are going to be. So for magnesium, 1 mole of magnesium equals 24.31 grams of magnesium. 1 mole of silicon equals 28.09 grams of silicon. 1 mole of hydrogen equals 1.008 grams of hydrogen, and 1 mole of oxygen equals 16.00. And now, units that we don't want will cancel. So the grams cancels out with the grams on the top and the bottom. And we're only left with the unit that we want, and that's the moles. So now all we got to do is we just got to multiply. Multiplying by 1 is the same number. The mass number is in the bottom, so denominator divide, dd. So I'm just going to quickly do all of these, the math, and let's just see what we get. 28.03 divided by 24.31. Hold on, 28.03 divided by 24.31. I'm going to cut this off after a few decimals, so 1.153 mole of magnesium. 21.6 divided by 28.09, I get 0.769 mole of silicon. 1.16 divided by 1.008, I get 1.151 mole of hydrogen. And then 49.21 divided by 16, I get 3.076 mole of oxygen. Okay, almost there. Now we got to find this mole ratio. Well, we kind of talked about ratios over here, right? A ratio is just some number divided by something else, right? So we have our first number. So that number is going to be divided by something else. But the question is, what is that other number? 1.153 divided by what? 0.769 divided by what? Etc., etc. Well, look ahead, right? We want to find the empirical formula first. The empirical formula is the simplified, the most simple, or the most simplified compound. It's the ones that have the smallest subscripts. So go with that thought. Simplified, smallest. You're going to be dividing by the smallest number you got out of all these moles. So I'm just looking at all 4 of these to find out what the smallest number is. This one is the smallest only by like 2 thousandths. So I'm going to divide each one by 1.151. So I'm just going to put that here. You're going to just divide by the smallest, I'll just say small, number. So this one divided by 1.151, divided by 1.151 and then divided by 1.151. Now let's see what we get. Now at this stage of the game, you should get a very, 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 very close to a whole number. Okay, so if you can round to a whole number, go do it. So for the first one, 1.153 divided by 1.151, it's 1.0017, etc., etc., etc. But it's very, very close to 1 mole of magnesium. 0.769 divided by 1.151, I get 0.668 mole of silicon. Can I bump that up to a whole number? No, I can't. That's not close enough for me to, get to the nearest whole number. So I'm just going to keep it like that. That's okay. This one is 1. So 1 mole of H, and then 3.076 divided by 1.151. I get another number, which I can't round up. It's not close enough. It's 2.67 moles of oxygen. Okay. Now hold up. At this stage of the game, we should have all whole numbers, right? So we don't have that. We don't have a whole number for silicon, and we don't have a whole number for oxygen. We first have to get it into a whole number before I can say that this is the empirical formula. So we just have to correct these numbers that are not whole numbers. Well, how do I do that? You're going to be multiplying. You're going to be multiplying. Pick your choice. I don't care whether you do this one or this one. Whoa, what happened? This one or this one. You're going to take one and you're going to do trial and error. You're going to keep multiplying by numbers until you get a number that you can say, okay, this is a whole number. So I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to take my 0.668 and I'm going to keep multiplying by numbers until I find a whole number that it satisfies. But I'm not going to start at 1 because if I multiply this by 1, I get the same number, right? So I usually start with 2 and above. So let's say, okay, if I times this number by 2, 0.668 times 2, I get 1.336. That's not close enough. That's not a whole number. So I can't do times 2. I'm going to go to the next number, and I'm going to keep going until I find on my calculator a number that satisfies very, very close to a whole number. So 0.668 times 3, in this case, I get 2.004. This is very close to 2. So I can stop here. So now I have 2 moles of silicon. But the multiplying has to be fair. If you multiply this number by 3, what do you think you got to do for the whole thing? Yeah, you got to multiply each one by 3. So let's do it. And maybe that will fix this issue. Let's see, fingers crossed. 1 mole of magnesium times 3, I now have 3 moles of magnesium. 1 mole of hydrogen times 3, I now have 3 moles of hydrogen. And then let's see, does this fix this issue? 2.67 times 3. Yeah, it does. I get 8 moles of oxygen. It was 8.01, but that's really, really close to just being 8. Okay, now I finally did that ratio. Now all we got to do is just take the mole values and make a empirical formula. So maybe I will put my empirical formula up here. And I'll call this, let me put this in parentheses. I'll just call this an EF, right? Empirical formula EF. So my empirical formula would be, I'll start from the top and work my way down to the bottom. Magnesium, and I have 3 of them, so 3. Then comes silicon. I have 2 of them, so I have to say 2. Hydrogen is next. I have 3 of them, so I have to put a 3 here. And then oxygen is next, and I have 8 of them, so I have to put an 8. And this answers 1/2 of the problem. Find the empirical formula. It's Mg3Si2H3O8. Okay, so that part done. Now we got to find the molecular formula. But we're at this stage already. We just need to do one more step to get to my molecular formula. How do we do that? Well, we just do a simple division. All we have to do is take our molecular mass and divide it by the empirical mass. Now, a molecular mass can be disguised as something else, right? A molecular mass is coming from the molecular formula. The empirical mass is coming from the empirical formula. A molecular mass is the same thing as a molar mass. And if we just look back at the top of the question, they did say the molar mass for this chrysotile is 520.8 grams per mole. So I know the top number. It's 520.8. You can put the unit here if you want, but this is math, so I'm not going to really worry about it. I know that I have the right units. So I'm just going to say 520.8 divided by what? My empirical mass, which comes from my empirical formula. So I got to go back to the periodic table. We've done tons of problems finding out just how to find a empirical mass or a molar mass of this, of a compound, right? So I'm just going to calculate it all up. I got 3 magnesiums, so I have to do 3 times 24.31. I got 2 silicons, so 2 times 28.09. Then comes in 3 hydrogens. Okay. And then I got to add that to 8 oxygens. Okay, so my total empirical formula is 260.134. Now, all I have to do is just divide these two numbers. So 520.8 divided by 260.134. And I get close to a very, very close whole number. The whole number is 2. And in this case, yeah, you do want a whole number. Now, what does this 2 actually mean? Well, I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to multiply all the subscripts that I have in my empirical formula. This is just telling me that my molecular formula is 2 times the amount of my empirical formula. So I have Mg3 Si2 H3O8, and all I'm doing is I'm just taking the 2 and multiplying it by all of the subscripts to get my my molecular formula. And maybe I'll just call that, MF for a molecular formula. So my molecular formula, which will be, this over here, is Mg, 2 times 3 is 6, Si, 2 times 2 is 4. I got H, 2 times 3 is 6, and then O, 2 times 8 is 16, and that is the molecular formula, and I'll just put that over here. So this equals the, I guess we'll just put an arrow here and we'll say MF. That's it. Guys, whew, crazy. But we did it, yeah? So hopefully this helped. If you can, please click the like button. It just shows me that I'm, teaching you guys in a way that you guys are understanding it. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would really, really, really help us out. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. And I really hope we can reach 10,000, maybe, and you guys have that power. So if you can, press the button. But if not, that's okay. Love you guys. All right. You guys rock. Keep studying hard. And good luck on your tests or quizzes, okay? See you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.